Karaganda Technical University. Lecturer, Department of Building Materials and Technologies. Theme: additives which increase the strength, corrosion resistance, frost resistance of concrete, and reinforced concrete reduce the permeability of concrete. Lecturer, Associate Professor PhD Серова Роза Фаиковна. Plan 1. Surface Active Substances SAS. 2. Sulfite Yeast Mash SYM. 3. Air Entertaining Additives. 4. Additives to increase concrete strength. 5. Additives to increase frost resistance. Purpose: to study, to be able to apply. Additives that increase strength, corrosion resistance, frost resistance of concrete and reinforces concrete, reduce the permeability of concrete. In modern concrete production, various additives are used to significantly improve the quality and characteristics of the concrete mixture. In practical, additives to concrete make it possible to increase the strength of concrete, increase its frost resistance, durability, reduce vapor permeability, make it more ductile. Plasticizing Measures for concrete mixtures began to be widely used in the 40s-50s, and today they occupy a leading position among the chemical additives used in concrete technology. As plasticizing additives are widely used, surface active substances SAS, often obtained from secondary product and waste from the chemical industry. SAS are divided into two groups. Group 1: hydrophilic type plasticizing additives that contribute to the dispersion of the colloidal system of cement paste and thereby improve its fluidity. Group 2. Water repellent additives involving tiny air bubbles in the concrete mixture. Molecules of surface-active hydrophobic additives adsorbed on the air-water interface lowered the surface tension of water and stabilized the smallest bubbles in a cement paste. Group 2 additive, the main purpose of which is to regulate the structure, increase the resistance of concrete, have a noticeable plasticizing effect. Of the additives of Group 1, sulfide yeast mash SYM is widely known. This additive is a calcium salt of lignosulfonic acids get in the form of a liquid from sulfate liquors formed during the processing of cellulose. Adipic alkaline plasticizer AAP, one of post-yeast part OOBYB, VRP1 plasticizer are also produced. Additivities of Group 2 include neutralized air entraining resin NAER, abiotic acid sodium salt obtained in the form of a powder or liquid by saponification of rosin with caustic soda, saponified wood pitch TS and PYPS1 preparation, paste obtained by neutralizing sodium hydroxide liquid acids of wood pitch, saponified wood resin SYR, a scientist surface active additive SAA, obtained from oil refinery waste, sulfonol SOP. In ordinary concrete, SDB is widely used as a plasticizer. SDB increases the mobility of the concrete mixture. Its uniformity, fluidity when pumped by the pump, helps to maintain workability of the mixture in time, allows to reduce cement consumption by 8–12%, or to keep the water-cement ratio and to increase the concrete strength and the same cement consumption, its water resistance and frost resistance. Air entering additives are mainly used to increase the frost resistance of concrete and mortars. Their activities slightly reduce the strength of concrete. 1% of the involved air reduce our compressive strength of concrete by 3%. Therefore, a large amount of air entering additives should not be introduced into the An air entering additive hydrophobizes the pores and capillaries of the concrete, and air bubbles serve as a reserve volume for freezing water without causing large internal stresses. As a result, the water resistance and frost resistance of concrete are significantly increased. Air entering additives are more effective in concrete with low cement consumption. Concrete mixture in order to plasticize it. The content of air involved is usually 4–5%. In this case, the strength of concrete practically does not decrease, since the negative effect of the involved air is neutralized by an increase in the strength of the cement stone due to a decrease in the water-cement ratio due to the plasticizing effect of the additive. to hydrophobic concrete increase its durability in aggressive environment and durability. Hydrophobic plasticizing silicone fluids are used. Sodium GKZH11 sodium silicate, GKZH2 sodium metallosilicate, and GKZH94 methyl hydrosilicate liquid. To compact the structure of concrete, ferrochlor-3 is used and corrosion inhibitors sodium nitrate, potassium hydromate to improve anti-radiation properties, salt of heavy metals to increase electrical conductivity, coke to give bactericidal properties, OSS to stabilize the concrete mixture, methyl silicose additives to increase concrete strength. Superplasticizer S3. The additive is used in concrete for giving concrete mixtures height mobility without reducing the strength characteristics. For concrete, increasing mobility from the original 2-4 cm to 18-22 cm, improving the psychical mechanical properties of concrete, strength 125 to 140% of the original, frost resistance 1 to 1.5 grades, water resistance 3-4 grades, reduction of the terms of heat most treatment or the term of the dismantling of concrete hardening in natural conditions, reduction of cement consumption by 15-25%, dosage of 0.5-0.8% by weighting of cement. The plasticizer should be diluted previously in water, preferably at a temperature of 25–30 degrees, an hour before use. The estimated amount of superplasticizer is introduced into the concrete mixture with mixing water. To increase the technological effect, to achieve greater mobility of the concrete mixture, or to increase its preservation and a constant consumption of additives. It is advisable to introduce A3 with a portion of mixing water 5 minutes after mixing the concrete mixture with the main volume of water. The recommended dosage of S3 is 0.5 to 0.8% by weight of cement, 500 to 800 grams per 100 kilograms of cement per dye substance. The dosage increases with an increase in the content of S3A cement and active mineral additive, flax, tripoli, and fineness of grading cement. The use of plasticized cement is not recommended. Superplasticizers rely mix. SP1 is an industrial mixture of thiocyanate and sodium thiosulfate and sodium polyphenylmethylene sulfonate. Contains imperative of sodium sulfate and tertiary substances. According to the classification of GOST 24211, additive relates to type plasticizing, water reducing superplasticizers, requiring hardening, kinetic accelerator. Complex additive Mix is enchanted for the sharp increase in workability and formability of concrete mixtures with a simulations increase in strength and without reducing the durability of concrete at a constant water-cement ratio. For a significant increase is physical and mechanical pressuring and construction and technical pressuring of concrete, including frost resistance and water resistance, while reducing water consumption and constant workability. To increase the workability of concrete mixture and to increase the physical and mechanical pressuring and the construction and technical properties of concrete, while reducing the water-cement ratio and increasing workability. To reduce cement consumption without reducing the workability of the concrete mixture, physical and mechanical properties, and construction and technical properties of concrete, while reducing the water content of the concrete mixture. Silica film. It is used to obtain high-strength concrete, a dosage of 10% by weight of cement. In concrete, it is used together with a 3 superplasticizer. The use of silica film allows you to get concrete of high strength and water resistance, increase the resistance of concrete when exposed to acid and elevated temperature, replace parts of the cement up to 30–40% while maintaining the strength of mortars and concrete. Additives to increase frost resistance and additives that increase frost resistance, neutralized air entering resin and water repellents are used. Tip room S and Sofexil gel. Additives are used in concrete for increase frost resistance of concrete, increase the water resistance of concrete, reduce the delamination of the concrete mixture during transportation, increase workability and workability of the mixture. Hydrophobization. One of the promising directions of hydrophobization is the use of various organosilication components with the ability of hydrophobization. Organosilicon liquids, which are based on the silicon-oxygen chain of controlled lead, contain about silicon atoms, hydrocarbon radicals of different size, C2H5, C3H7, CN H2N1, which tells them, in depending of the purpose, both a different degree of water repellent properties and a different ability to penetrate into the material. Varieties of this combination make it possible to obtain water repellent systems used for a wide variety of purposes related to the problem of hydrophobization. There are planes, coatings, impregnatings, water repellent additives in concrete and mortars, and a number of other directions. An essential circumstance in this case is the ability of organosilication liquids not to close but to line the pores creating a very thin, waterproof film of their surface. Conclusion. Additives that increase the strength, corrosion resistance, frost resistance of concrete and reinforced concrete and reduce the permeability of concrete are sufficiently studied and are often used on an industrial scale. Questions for self-control. Additives that increase the strength. Additives that increase corrosion resistance. Additives that increase frost resistance of concrete and reinforced concrete. Additives reduce the permeability of concrete are sufficiently studied. Additives often used on an industrial scale. Thanks for attention.